Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe in hope, if you believe in community, if you believe that we have a responsibility for one another, then I hope you will join me in welcoming the next President of the United States.
Unbelievable. Oh, look at this. The Longhorn stick. Look at this. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I have not seen a crowd like this. I am overwhelmed, Oscar. I am overwhelmed. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You know, thank you guys, thank you. The first time I love you back. The first time that I had a crowd of even 1,000 people was shortly after I had made my speech at the Democratic National Convention. And I still remember it was in New York City, and there was an event that we had held, and it was a young professionals event, and they had come to this event, I think paid $25 to help support our campaign. And I called my wife afterwards. I was so overwhelmed. And I told her 1,000 people showed up at this event. And she said to me, well, who else was there? She said, was Stevie Wonder singing, or was Lance Armstrong there, or what was going on? And I said, no, I think it was just me. So I'm going to have to take some pictures to take back to my wife. Thank you. Well, listen, on February 10th, 2 Saturdays ago, I stood in front of the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois, the place where Abraham Lincoln had served and where he delivered his famous speech in which he said that a nation divided against itself could not stand. And he was an inspiration for all of us. But for me to be there and see 17,000 people in 7-degree weather was truly an inspiration. And it told me not that people were simply supporting my campaign, but it told me that people were ready for a change. All right. And it was a humbling experience. And my wife and my children went with me from the announcement on to Iowa. This is just a little bit of rain. I hope people don't mind. It's all right now. So we went on to Iowa, and it was a family affair. I had my wife, I had my 8-year-old daughter, Malia, my 5-year-old daughter, Sasha. I had my mother-in-law. I had godparents. We brought my niece and nephew in to play with my kids. And we went to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and we had 2,500 people. And we went Waterloo, Iowa, and there were 2,000 people. We went to Ames, Iowa, and there were 7,000 people. And everywhere we went, there was this enormous excitement and spirit. And I asked my children at one point how they were doing, because they hadn't been on trips like this with me before. And my daughter, who was playing with her cousins and drawing and playing games, my 8-year-old says, "Oh, Daddy, I'm having a great time. Thanks for bringing me." And then she went back to drawing, and then after a few minutes she looked up and she said, "Now what are we doing here again?" What are we doing here? It is an appropriate question for today. What are we doing here today? Why are we gathered in this place? We are gathered here in this place because the entire nation understands that we are at a crossroads. We're at a crossroads internationally. We're at a crossroads domestically. We know that we can't continue on a course in which we spend more money on health care than any nation on earth, and yet we have 46 million uninsured, and we have people, and we have families who have health insurance but are seeing their co-payments and deductibles and premiums going up every day. We see small businesses that can't afford to provide health care for the workers. We see large businesses uncompetitive internationally because other countries pay for health care for their people. And so people say to themselves, why wouldn't we invest in preventive care so that children can get regular checkups instead of going to the emergency room for asthma? Why wouldn't we treat people with diabetes early instead of reimbursing for the $30,000 amputation because they didn't get treatment? Why wouldn't we take the money that we save by making sure that everybody has prevention and put that money into providing affordable, accessible health care for every single American? That's something we can do, and the American people believe in that. People look at our energy policy, or at least our lack of an energy policy, and they say to themselves, not only is our economy held hostage to the spot oil market, but we send $800 million a day to some of the most hostile nations on earth. We fund both sides of the war on terrorism. And in the bargain, we end up melting the polar ice caps and creating climate change that ultimately is going to affect everybody, especially people along the coast of the Gulf, along coastal areas all over the planet. People in Africa who are already struggling are going to see drought. And people say, we can do better than that. We're the wealthiest, most innovative nation on earth. There's no reason why we can't create alternative fuels. There's no reason why we can't grow our own fuel. If Brazil can do it, if other countries can do it, we can do it.